the I am the victim kind of mentality lately is becoming more and more useless. I think people should learn that once you start using that card, it loses a meaning. It loses its meaning. Actually, some people are going not to be taken serious. The moment you bring that card out, people are going to stop taking you serious. In Nigeria, there is a girl, she was shooting her content for a TikTok account, which is fine. People do that every time. People create content, which is fine. This is it's the order of the day. And the lecturer, this guy was walking from one department going to his office. And he slightly, he tapped this girl's shoulder and he was like, I'm passing. So this girl became so violent. She felt she had to show off power. Probably, I don't know, for whatever reason. I don't know why she did it, but she did it. And people came and they were like, oh, don't do that. So the girl went to an extent of biting the lecturer and creating a scene out of nowhere. And McHugh, as she was doing this, people were recording. She even has the moment when the lecturer is tapping her shoulder on video. It was recorded. But because probably she wanted to use this to her advantage, and then she would accuse the lecturer of probably doing something to her. What's up? This generation has got so many problems. This generation, at first I used to love this generation because they are one of the generations that are considered unruly, generations that don't accept how things are being done, the norm of the day, which is okay. But sometimes they overdo things. There are things nowadays I'm seeing and I'm like, my God, this can't be done at this. Because just imagine you're shooting your videos. First why would you shoot videos at school? Okay, if you want to shoot your videos, why don't you shoot your videos in a place where, first, no one is going to disturb you, two, you don't inconvenience others? Because this is a university. You do not own the university. A university is for everyone. This is where I find a problem, for example, in Uganda, where someone is shooting their content and you're shooting your content in a road. People are rushing to work. People are going to work. I have seen so many videos where people are doing their content in the middle of the road. And you wonder to yourself, why do you do your videos in the middle of the road, inconveniencing others? Because people have to carry on with their lives. Someone is rushing to hospital. Someone is rushing home. Probably they need to go to work. But because you feel you want to do your content, so you should inconvenience others. And this is a problem. This is a problem, a very big one. Now, this girl felt that through her content, she can create a scenario, and then she comes and accuses the lecturer. Apparently, and this is, I'm not sure, but they said apparently her mother is a lecturer in one of the departments at that school. I don't know whether this was one of her strong points and she would be like, oh no, I'm going to act in the way I want because I have got a relative who is working here, because my mom works somewhere. This is a mentality that many people have, that they feel it is okay. It is okay as long as I'm happy. They don't mind about other people's feelings. They don't mind whether they create chaos, whether they are creating problems for others. They don't care. All they care about is themselves. And people have, because this is a trump card, people have been always complaining, please be mindful of other people's feelings, be mindful of other people's atmospheres. But for you are creating an environment that you are the only principal in everything. You should also accept that in the environment that I'm working in, I've got other people. I have other people who are around me, and people need their space. We understand this is a public place. Yes, it is a public place. It should be enjoyed by everyone. Everyone has a right. If you have a right to do your TikTok, I also have a right carry on with my work, to carry on with my life. Your TikTok shouldn't inconvenience what I'm doing. So this guy, he went and he escalated the problem to the university council, probably to the university, whatever they have, I think a disciplinary committee. And they said, the university released a statement, and it was like, we are going to investigate, and whoever that will find culpable is going to be punished, or is going to be, whatever they do. But I think this generation is some kind of a problematic generation. Many employers have come up and say, oh, we don't want to employ Gen Zs. Why? Because they no longer have the values. They don't have the values that employers look for. They are, the way they do things, they don't care. But you might find that this is just actually a section of people. Now I'm just imagining, if this is the kind of the generation we have. Initially it is a good generation, to be honest, because we have seen that so many people have defended their constitution. For example, in Kenya, they defended their constitution, they defended their rights. Though they have good aspects, but at some point I think we have also failed. Because this generation, this is crazy. This is just crazy. How do you even think about it? You just don't mind. Because this guy was just walking, and I just even imagine, this is an elder. Someone is so. I remember when we were growing up, we used to give too much respect to the elders, too much respect to the teachers, too much respect to lecturers. A professor is passing, and you're like, I remember when I was at school, and the guys would come, and their professor, you can't even sit at the same table. You're like, you're giving them that maximum respect. Today, it's not the case. Today, the guy will show you that they don't. No, you are just a human being. What are you saying? You are a human being like me. It's the same with the way things are done at home. I remember when you would grow up with your dad, and your dad was coming home. I doubt if you would stay in the same room and you start discussing. Or maybe you have got a visit at home and your dad is maybe having a conversation, and then you also contribute. That wouldn't be the case. This generation, they don't care. They don't want to know. If you're speaking about something, if you found the person is watching cartoon, they will sit and they will watch cartoon. Meanwhile, if you want to continue with your conversation, it's up to you. If you don't want, they don't give a damn. Do whatever you want. It's their life after all. But just imagine those days. Those days you could, oh my goodness, our parents would not take such crap. They wouldn't take such crap. But this generation, soft parenting, oh, you can't touch your child, oh, you can't tell off your child, oh, you have to be very careful. When I had just moved to UK, I used to fear, to be honest. One of the things that they warned me about is, please try as much as you can. You can do whatever you want. This is a free country. Do whatever you want. But when you go to clubs, I don't club. When you go to a club or a pub, please try as much as you can to avoid interacting with girls, because you don't know. You may, not apparently, you may interact with this girl who is an underage, and you'll be in trouble. And truth be told, once you are caught with an underage, you are in deep trouble. Deep, not just trouble, deep trouble. Try your best. Avoid as much as you can to interact with girls who are underage. And it is understandable. They should be protected. But with that in mind, personally, I don't like going to clubs. But I was like, yes, I respect people, but you should be respectful enough, you should understand that if this was your daughter, because if it was my daughter and you play around with my daughter who is still an underage, who is below 18, I would definitely get mad. So if you don't want your daughter to be abused, why would you want to abuse another person's daughter? Why? If you're a parent, I am a parent. I don't want anyone to mess around with my child. I don't want. So if you don't want someone to mess around with your child, why would you want to mess around with other people's children? It is the simple matter. Don't mess around with other people's children. Now, just imagine, I'm just thinking about this girl. Imagine if another girl did what you did on your father or your dad. How would you feel? Or imagine if your mom met a boy who was creating TikTok content and they did what you did to your mom. How would you feel? So if you would feel hurt, if you would feel offended when someone is messing up with your mom, why would you feel so comfortable? Why do you feel that you would even have to go to that length of having an altercation with a lecturer? And you even don't have that courtesy of saying, oh, I'm really sorry. Because to be honest, you should have apologized. This is the case. You were shooting content in a public sphere, right? So since it is a public sphere, have the courtesy to leave space for others to move on with their business. It is simple. If you were not in the way, the guy wouldn't have tapped you. That is one. Two, maybe probably he didn't want to be in your videos, but he has to continue using the resources. He has to keep moving, but he doesn't want to be in your video. I would like to move around. Don't shoot me. Don't put me in your TikTok account. I don't want to be seen. But because what he thinks doesn't matter and it's only you who matters, no. So he shouldn't say anything. And just because you're so wild, you know how to bite, you know how to shout. And so many of these girls, they love to shout. So many of these boys. These days it's just crazy. I don't know what they are eating that we need to find out and maybe start to think again before we consume such stuff. But this generation, they need more prayers. Someone was even asking, how would you even punish your child at home? I would say this. Last year in 2024, there was some demonstrations in Leeds, that's Yorkshire, and it's because the social services came and took a particular set of children from their family members, from their mom and dad. So when they took these children for whatever reasons, and this is the law, I'm sure they were following the law, and they started demonstrating. And someone asked me a question: How would you punish your child? Oh, let me not use the word punishing. Let me use the word disciplining. How would you discipline your child in UK? Because where I grew up from, back then they used to cane. They used to smack. These days you are not allowed to smack. Even in Uganda, it was you are not allowed to smack. So the question was, how do you discipline your child in case they misbehave? Because it is normal for a child to misbehave. And I was like, to be honest, I don't know. Because the way I come from, it's different. I can say, stop this, and the child will stop, and you're not allowed to say anything back to me. I'm your dad. Where I come from, that's how it works. Here it is different. And because you are here, you have to follow the rules. I have to follow the law. And that's the law. So where you go, the laws should work. If you want to be respected, you should respect others. So this generation needs to understand this, that sometimes it is not all about you. It's about everyone in the society. You shouldn't feel that you are the only principal. You shouldn't feel that you are the president. You are everything. The rest don't matter. No, that's not how things work. We are all human beings. We all need the same sphere. We all need the same environment. If you don't want others to have what you have, then you're going to create trouble. Because now I'm sure this girl is not comfortable with the recognition she received. This is too much attention. You should content to be recognized and to be watched. But now, if you're getting a negative backlash, you definitely you'll not enjoy it. I doubt if she's enjoying it. So this is the university, and I've seen it is happening in so many universities. So many lecturers have been accused. Someone comes up and say, "Oh, Mr. So and so wanted me to have, sex for marks." And because he can't say much, okay, sometimes it happens. I know for sure some lecturers, of course, some creepy lecturers will do it. But some of them are innocent. They are innocent. They don't know. Some of them, they are accused. And when you get some paper, there are some people who don't read. Some university students don't read. They go to the university, they chill. And because they know they will come and accuse the lecturer of A, B, C, and D. Oh, the lecturer asked money for me to give from me. Or the lecturer wanted to have, sexual relations with me so that I can get these marks. So the lecturer is cornered. But in most cases, some of them are innocent. Why? Because these girls have learned the tricks of manipulating. These are tactics they use to get marks. So they don't want to work hard to get the marks, but they feel comfortable to corner, to manipulate these lecturers so that they can get what they want. Some have succeeded, some have failed. But guess what? Let us take just think about it. If you woke up one day and you went on a graduation, okay, and we said, okay, look here, if you want to get your degree, we want you to defend your research paper. So when you defend your research paper, okay, then you get your degree. You will be shocked to see that most of the people, most of the girls, most of the boys, they did not genuinely get their degrees. Most of these papers are written for them. Most of these marks are bought. But now, because some lecturers are creepy, some are not, some of them are cornered to they are cornered and they will accept the conditions. So I think lecturers need to be understood sometimes. For example, this guy, and I'm sure he's going to get justice. And some lecturers, if they do a wrong decision, if they make a wrong decision, they should pay for it. They should pay. Everyone should pay for their miss. If you do something wrong, you should pay. But it is not right. And these people should understand that the world doesn't end with you. The world continues. My name is Ken, and I wish you success.